tomorrow, but...
Okay. So, hi there, everybody. It's the Modern Native. But let's see if this is working now. Had a lot of technical difficulties, but here we are. And we're going to do a Bushcraft and Survival Q&A. If anybody has any questions or anything else that they want to ask, feel free. Sorry for wasting everybody's time in the previous 3 attempts to go live tonight. Apparently, my phone just didn't want to work outside. I'm hoping that I'm working now. If you want your headphones so you can check the audio. How's it going, Rock and Or? Do I sound alright? Am I skipping? Do I sound like a robot? Everything seemed clear and good to go. It's been a very frustrating few attempts. Audio was good. Thank you very much. Awesome sauce. So, instead of doing the Fire in the Storm and the Hangout and all that, we are going to do a Bushcraft Q&A. And I am going to be bringing up a friend to ask any questions that he has, because he's new-ish to the bushcrafting and survival deal. So I wanted to help him out, share my wisdom and advice, and if anybody has any questions, you can feel free to ask him in the chat. And if anybody wants to come up, you can too. My fingers don't want to work on the screen.
I can't find it. It literally didn't come up. It didn't give me a notification or anything.
Because I've already done 3 live notifications. You won't get another one. They only do 3 notifications from one person. So you have to either do the live filter or actually go to my channel to find it. Rock found me. Rock and roll.
I found you. I just went to your page.
Okay. But Rock says I sound good.
Yeah, you do.
So, okay, awesome. And you ever get so frustrated with doing something, you literally get fucking chest ache? You made my phone fall over. Look at you.
Hey, hold on. Let me see if I can do it again.
No, the force is not with this one.
Sound much
That was
better.
frustrating. That was frustrating, dude. Oh my god, that was frustrating. So, apologies to everybody who was hanging out in my last 3 attempts to go live tonight. I apologize. Technical difficulties, YouTube difficulties, StreamYard being a pain in the ass, and a wet screen. And I freaking clicked the link when I finally got the stream to work. I was trying to look at the chat, and I booped the fucking link, took me off my live, sent me over to their channel, and I was like, oh man, how do I even get back to the live? Ended up clicking on my live and watching myself on the spinning bullet, the circle, and I was like, this isn't where I'm supposed to be. Then I figured out I actually had to go and click go live again, and it said, would you like to resume your previous stream? And I was like, yes. Didn't want to exit it in the first place. So, here we are. We're back. We're enjoying. And we're going to have a Bushcraft Survival Q&A. And anybody can scroll up and look at the StreamYard link and click and join us if anybody has any questions, any thoughts or comments, or want to share their wisdom on how they do things. this isn't me sharing the right way to do things. This is me sharing my way of doing things. So it's just my perspective, my experience, and how I accomplish what I need to do when I'm out there in the wilderness. So it's don't take this as I'm laying it down. This is the law. This is the right way to do it. I say it multiple times in many of my videos. Everybody has their own way, their own style, and their own fashion in doing things. I'm just sharing mine. So Chris is with me from the Crumb Snatcher Outdoors. I gotta say it that way. And he just started dabbling back into his bushcrafting, and he made an attempt at a bushcraft shelter, which is more of a survival shelter in my opinion, but that's just me. And he wanted some advice and to chat about that. And if anybody wants to put in their 2 cents or wants to come up and ask their own questions, feel free. It's on you, Chris. I passed the ball.
What's up, y'all? But yeah, I built that shelter in part 1 and got with modern native and figured out, you know, what I did wrong and everything. But that part 2, you know, I think I've done a lot better on my editing, and at native even said I've done a lot better. So if y'all haven't seen part 2, go back and see part 2. The editing on it is a lot better, but it'll get better from here though.
Yeah, everybody, I definitely suggest that you guys can go and check out his channel. He has 2 videos on his. The wife shared his link on Mrs. Native, and you can check out his video. His first one is a little long, but feel free to grind through it. I got to mess with him a little bit, but it was a good first video. Definitely was. You definitely get to see how he clips some branches.
Rock and Roar supported last night.
Yep. Rock and Roar went over and supported you. He was the one that left you the comment, right? I think I commented on his. You muted and unmuted too fast.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, he did, and I appreciate Rock and appreciate everything that everybody's done for me.
Absolutely, I saw that you've been getting a decent amount of views on that pretty fast.
Oh yeah,
the
lights are even. It's over what part 1 was. Part 1's on 7 lights, and last time I checked, part 2's already up to 8 lights.
That's awesome.
I think
last time I saw it was on 19 views, and I shared it on my community when it was at 8 views. So
yeah,
got a nice little jump there. Now, I do want to say something there. You said that I was telling you what you did wrong on the shelter, and it was just, it's not what you did wrong. Because as a survival shelter,
you was giving me tips.
Yeah, as a survival shelter, that definitely would have worked. If you wanted just the bare bones minimum, I'm freaking stuck out here for the night. Let me just throw this together and crawl in there, and I'm relatively safe from the critters and the weather. That's what that was to me. So I mean, that's you didn't do anything wrong for sure. It definitely would have worked, but as a long term, I want to go back to it and visit it. You know, let it be good for a few months so I can actually go back and do it. You know, you definitely want to change up your method, in my opinion.
Right. I got a question on part 2. I know you watched it. You know, I kind of put a little story in there from my, you know, from my childhood. I figured, you know, it'd be best to, you know, throw 1 or 2 stories in there just to kind of, you know, put in my childhood from it.
Yeah, you share your experience and where you come from, and you know, it's about sharing the growth, sharing, you know, I haven't done a shelter since I was 14. You know, it's been like a decade, so I'm just kind of getting the feel for it again. This is my first attempt. And you even said in there, before you and I even talked, that you'd probably be redoing that whole thing. So that was pretty cool. I like that. Because that's what we were talking about, redesigning it and doing it in a different way to where it would be a little more stable, more secure, and you'd be able to, you know, rely on it more.
Yeah, let's get on to this, you know, the being stable, more stable. You know, I told you about, you know, those size limbs that I had is about what just all it was around there, other than the bigger trees. And you get onto that one more time, so it'll you know, so everybody else can kind of understand.
Sorry, the dogs were beating up the wife.
He wouldn't move. I was trying to make the bed, and he wouldn't move. Or I had to move him, and then he just laid there.
Yeah, he likes to be in the way, and she ended up kicking something. So
I kicked my door.
yeah, I figured that's what she kicked. But
He's pretty.
yes, it's a pretty boy. Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But yeah, you were trying to figure out how to make them more stable.
Right.
Those slimmer branches. If that's the only option that you have to use, you can definitely use slimmer branches. You try to get the straightest ones possible. And what I would do is I'd put them, line them up together end to end, make sure they're even, and then you can lash them together with some cordage. If you have some thin cord, where's my spool? I use this thing. Yes, are you helping? You're holding it with your nose? Yeah. I use this micro cord. It's just this thin, nylon?
It's nylon. It says it on there.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, it did.
But no, it doesn't anymore.
Yeah,
I think it was on the
nylon.
backside. But it's just this nylon, polyester, whatever the hell, cords that hey, we have someone joining up.
I left my phone right there so you could see them.
Well, it was on my guest. How's it going? HMD, you would be
Heavy
What's your
metal detective, and it's good to be here because I have a question right now. I'm trying
What's
to
that?
heat this RV that I bought. If I have to park it somewhere with no propane, and I've done this, okay, and I've got a place to stay in, right over there, but I've been doing this. Am I doing it wrong?
What is that?
It's like 3 big pieces of freaking whatever kind of rock,
3 big pieces of what? Sorry about that.
Can you see it? That's what I've
What am
been
I
doing
looking-
with candles.
Oh, that's cool. I've actually seen those. The radiant candle heater things that people make, the DIY
Yeah,
candle
they're
oven.
working, man. I'm wondering why. It just, I'm wanting extra heat out here so I can sleep in the RV and not have to go in the bar and sleep. I've got electricity in there, but here I am out here still trying to. And I saw you guys go online, so I was like, maybe I should ask. We're bushcrafting, right?
With an enclosed space like that, you definitely want to be careful burning too many candles.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously that's going to cause some carbon monoxide, but it shouldn't be too bad if it's a clean burning candle.
I'm sorry there's no light here, but I do have a carbon monoxide detector up there, but I want to have heat. It did go off last night and there wasn't any heat off of it, so I'm probably just gonna have to buy propane,
And I'll get back to you in a second, Chris, but Colin, do you have any of those terracotta pots laying around?
No, I do not. That's what I need, really. That's what I need.
Yeah, you could probably get one from the hardware store pretty cheap. And what you do is you could take a metal grill and put it over top of the candle and set that terracotta pot upside down on it. It'll capture a lot of that heat, radiate out.
All right.
It should be a nice little hot spot for you. Just go. Go.
He hasn't listened to me
Go
this
lay down.
entire time.
Sorry, boys are misbehaving.
Get up here and down.
So that would be my best solution for you. Propane in a small place like that is again a little bit of a danger spot, but
Yeah.
one of those buddy heaters that you could slap on top of the propane thing, the tent heater that you have for that might do you pretty well. But that should have enough ventilation in there that if something happened, you could always turn on the losing your signal there. That you could turn on the oven exhaust fan that's over top of your cooker there, and that would pull out anything if your alarm went off. And obviously, step outside for a little bit, get yourself some air. Do just remember that carbon monoxide has a what do they call that? A four. It's like a 2-hour half-life or 4-hour half-life or whatever else. More or less, however long you are exposed to the carbon monoxide. And it's all right, Colin. I'm glad you came up and dropped that question because that is a good one. However long you are exposed to the carbon monoxide, make sure you give twice that amount of time to clear your lungs and clear the area because it likes to linger and it will harm you in the long run. But Chris, like I was saying, to lash those poles together, you would just need to do it on either end and in the middle. Do like 3 of those poles together and then lash them. And you know how to do a lashing?
No, I don't.
One second.
It was my fault. I hit my ankle on the chair.
I'm back. I needed to go and get props. So these are just pieces that I trimmed off of my walking sticks, the tops to make them a little shorter. So what you would want to do, get them stacked in their triangle, however they want to sit. It's usually the easiest way. Do you know how to do a slip knot?
Yeah.
Not the band, the rope knot.
Yes, I do.
Because if you did slip knot, man, we need to hang in the same crew.
I mean, I think.
So
You meant the dirty way. You nasty.
So one simple way is you could do a slip knot. And then you just, the wife was holding my wood. And then you just slip it over the end. Come on.
Heavy Meadow said, I just heard that back. I appreciate that. Not too sure what's going on there. So it's like a heater for the trailer camper type thing.
And then obviously you just tie it down, throw a second knot around it so it doesn't slip once you get it tight. Or
If you do the over and under
yeah, that's what I was about to get to.
into
I'm going to go with the simplest ones and then work my way deeper. Yeah, deeper.
Someone has a very naughty mind.
Hey, I got frustrated earlier. Now I am just
great.
being me. I'm always me, but sometimes I'm a little more me than usual. Oh. Then, do you know what a timber hitch? Timber hitch. I'm terrible with the names, and I kind of have my own version of doing things. Do you know what a timber hitch is?
I've heard of it. Like I said, I'm still learning it, so.
Don't worry so much.
It's where what you can do is you can wrap it around 2 or 3 times. You can see what I'm doing. Okay. And then you wrap your end. I know you probably can't see much of what I'm doing. You wrap it around your wrapping 3 or 4 times, and then you slide it down, and that'll tighten. Don't look all that pretty right now, but you just wrap it around itself, and the tension will pin it underneath, and they aren't going anywhere. So,
oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just a simple
sense now.
And you can get it undone pretty easily by removing the tension.
Gotcha.
There's if you want to see someone who does a lot of really good knots, it's where I go to perfect my knotting. I do terrible knots sometimes. Is Cole Cracker Bushcraft. He's a great dude. He's down in Pennsylvania. He's got a school and everything. He does a lot of good stuff. And if anybody goes and says hi on one of his videos, to let them know the natives sent him.
Take over stink. What's up, native?
Dink! Nice dinker, you dink!
Every time.
Yeah. And then, obviously, you can do a simple wraparound. Then you just do a simple knot. Once and then twice. And it's not too secure, but for what you need, it'd keep them together, because if you're going to do 3 of these lashings, one on either end, one in the middle, it takes a lot of that wiggle out, so it doesn't need to be an extravagant knot or even that much cordage. Hi, Tasha. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Thanks for trying to help out. Apparently, I come inside and everything's fucking perfect.
Modern, come get your best friend.
You giving her away? I'll take her. I'll put her to work.
Are we talking about you and Jamie?
I think so. That's supposed to be my best friend.
It kind of is.
Doing a frapping on these would actually be a little irritating for what you want to do. Do you know what I mean by frapping?
No, I don't.
Did you watch me wrap my pole? Yeah. My walking sticks?
Yeah, I see you walking sticks.
The way I wrapped them, that's pretty much a frapping. That's a frapping, and what you can do is that would be really irritating on this, but it would work and it'd be tight.
I'm so confused. I don't know what's going on with Natasha. I'm confizzled. Can I try something real quick?
The wife's gonna play with the wood for a minute.
Come back here.
You want it back the way it was? Oh, you're gonna do the 3 in a row. With what he's trying to do, this would work, but he's more or less trying to beef it up. He's trying to make these small ones turn into a bigger log. So, I mean, yeah, that would work. Okay,
This is one of my go-tos.
Did you see that?
It's an under-over.
She laid them flat, and then she did it under and over, and then she squeezed it together, and it turned into the triangle again.
Yeah. I got you.
And then you just knot it there, and that'll put the tension across the different pieces together. Don't knot it too much. I'm going to be undoing it.
I'm showing a simple knot.
It's very hard to see.
Sorry, I have tiny hands. Simple knot, and all you have to do is hide it.
Oh yeah, my go-to. Tension or not. And then you can just throw a toggle in that. Just a small little stick.
Mm-hmm.
Or her finger.
Usually.
But the problem is she won't sit there and just hold it the whole time. She wants her finger back, so it's...
Maybe you just chop the finger off and use the finger.
I've suggested that, but she doesn't like that idea. And the look you're getting.
Just have to wait until she goes to sleep.
So, you can just see the forehead.
My full head.
5 head. Hey, I got the 6 head, so it's okay.
That's more like an 8 head.
So that's pretty much all you gotta do to beef up your sticks there.
It was really hard to see what I was... Yeah.
Thanks, Colin. Now that I know your first name, I'll definitely try to remember.
And Angel being a butt.
He's always a butt. But look who's talking.
I was gonna say...
But having a wrapping, like I said, on either end and in the middle, however you want to do it, you can even mix it up, whatever, just to play with the knots so that way you learn them. That'll help beef it up because I don't know if these will flex. These are beefy. Hey, Andrew. So if these were smaller, like yours, have you ever seen one of my favorite things is, have you ever seen Rise of the Planet of the Apes, the new series, the new trilogy, the version of the Planet of the Apes movies?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember Ape Alone Weak? And he snaps the stick. And he takes a bunch of sticks together and says, Ape Together Strong.
Right.
Ape Together Strong. Remember that.
Gotcha.
So that's pretty much the concept with those sticks, is one little stick will break if it gets flexed too much. But you got 3 sticks laid together, lashed together, won't break as easily.
Gotcha.
So as I said before, we got 8 people hanging out. Anybody wants to join in on the chat, ask some questions, you can feel free to jump up. I just ask for a decent audio quality. That's why Chris keeps muting himself, because of background sounds. He's trying to have his audio discipline up for me, so that way he's keeping it clean. It's also why the 3 attempts I had earlier didn't freaking work, because my audio wasn't clean. So, anybody wants to come up and join the Bushcraft and Survival Q&A conversation, offer your take on things, feel free. You got another question for me there, Chris? I can't ask myself questions.
Yeah, my bedding in that one shelter, as you could tell in the part 2, I put pine straw down. But as what you was talking about, you know, if it rains real bad, I don't have a drainage.
Yeah, you you call it pine straw? Is that
Yeah.
what you call
Yes, sir.
it? Okay, so you're just talking about the dead pine needles that you're raking up.
Right.
Okay. To us, that's just pine needles. Personally, I would heavily avoid using pine needles, but that's just me because it irritates me. I feel those pokes coming through, and they poke me, and it ends up making me scratch and itch. I would much rather have that as like the bottom layer, and I actually would have left most of those leaves in the shelter, most of the dead dry leaves, and I would have used pine boughs, which is the branches that still have the needles on them. I would have overlaid those onto the shelter for the roof, so that way when you did rake up the leaves that were up over the ground, all around you, if you rake those up and just kept tossing them onto the pile the way you had them, that would have caused a lot less flow through your shelter. You would have had less going into the inside and more staying on the roof, making it more solid and more waterproof. Now, as far as the drainage, like I said, with your specific video on what you're talking about, your specific shelter, digging a trench that was at a decent angle so it got deeper as it went down, and then a little, just 8-12 inches, dig a hole about yay-ish big. Then you take some of those rocks that you were picking up and just toss them in that hole, and you lay sticks over that ditch, and then you put the bedding down, however you want. You like pokey pine needles, that's fine on you, but whatever's comfortable. Then you would have a much better chance of being able to survive a heavy rain as it comes down, goes under, and goes in.
I got you. Yeah, it's poured for 2 days now here, so I hate to see how that shelter looks now.
I bet you most of the leaves on top are gone.
Gone.
Yeah, I bet. And you've got a swamp in the middle of that thing. I bet you. But if you have heavy clay in that area, you probably now have a brick forming from the pine needles and the mud.
Possibly.
That's good stuff.
Thanks, Colin.
Clay can also be used as a.
Do you happen to have clay deposits around?
Higher.
Like in creek beds or stuff like that?
No, I don't.
Really?
Mm-mm.
It's really useful if you can find it. If you can dig down a few feet and hit like that hard hacky, like it's kind of sticky and stiff and you can form it, that kind of stuff, that's clay. And you can use that for a ton of stuff, and you can literally make a fire chimney with it, and you get a nice hot fire going in there, and it'll turn hard and be hardened clay. It actually is super awesome.
Yeah, I got a pond over there near that shelter that I was talking about in part 1. And thought about doing a shelter over there near that pond.
The pine?
Just a regular shelter over there near the pond.
The pond?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. New York accent, Alabama accent. I need to translate certain things.
Gotcha.
That's why I'm here.
So,
Andrew, you said you working more.
I do woodworking, yes, and I play in the woods a lot. Not sure what you mean by I work in wood. But I've been carving walking sticks. That was actually, let's see this end. Rocky Mountains walking stick, and I was carving. I'll be probably doing some of that again.
I've already shared your link. I share everyone's when they come in.
Maybe he was fucking with you.
No, I know. I admit that truthfully. I'm not gonna.
Now, which 2 STDs? Because some are curable. I can deal with it.
Polar bear, what's your biggest fish?
We're talking about bushcraft and survival, not fishing.
I was gonna say this is a bushcraft, not a fishing.
We'll have a fishing conversation when I can actually get some damn fish.
Unfortunately, everything's been frozen, so there ain't been much fishing for a while.
Yes, Rocky Mountain Life Prospecting is awesome. Awesome dude. Rob is awesome. He's great. And I really got to show him some appreciation. Yeah. No, that's why I'm making walking sticks. I'm making one for him and his wife.
Which
His wife's is right here. I still got to carve it.
it's about the same level as mine, and me and her about the same height, so it's actually very convenient.
Hey, she's tall enough she can look down on you.
Yes, yes. Well, I'm short.
Yeah, I got the short shit.
Hey. You don't mind this short.
No, it's fun sized.
Exactly.
But yeah, definitely. If anybody has any questions, feel free to click the link, drop them in the comments. Anything else?
Anyone wants someone's link, just ask and I'll drop it again.
Yeah, I got the link. The link dropping master. So, Chris, you have any survival or? I said we weren't talking about fish.
Look, at least I just put in comments. I didn't put it on the actual video.
So I will answer that fine then if it has to be part of the conversation. My best fish was like a 26-inch rainbow.
Oh,
That thing,
so cute.
yeah, I know. And I caught it by accident. I got skunked all day, and the current took my bobber out, and I was just kind of chilling out, and then it was time to go, and I reeled in. I'm like, huh, I got a freaking fish. That thing was so that thing fought itself for probably like a half hour before I even started reeling. So it had like no fight on the way in. It was like, damn it, I guess I'll go this way. Because I don't know how long it was on there. That thing had floated so far out, I couldn't see my bobber anymore. Yeah, we have some beautiful big rainbows in the Great Second Lake. It's awesome. But that was just a lucky catch, and I caught that when I was a kid. I was like 7, 6.
I can't say nothing.
I am getting a fucking pike this year.
I may have not got much this year, but when I was in North Carolina, catfish all day. I love catfish. I'm sorry. Noodling was just awesome. That was the best kind of fishing ever.
And if I had a spear, I could have got multiple fish this year that would have totally beat my personal best. Standing there by the damn shore, and I watch a fish go right next to me. I'm like, son of a... I almost grabbed my net just to hook him because he came up to the shore right where my toe was sitting. And I was like,
Yes.
Fish
is right.
survival. Yes, fish survival, but
To an extent.
I could definitely survive much longer in the forest without, any fishable waters near me than I could on the shore of a lake, just by the sheer fact that I'm cursed and can't catch fish. I have the skills, I have the knowledge, and I have the gear. The fish? No, it's me.
And he's totally not kidding about this.
She's watched me.
He has no luck when it comes to fishing. I'll pull up 3, maybe 4, to his none.
Mm-hmm. You and I will be fishing on the same bank, use the same damn things, and you can even be fucking being dumb with it, and you'll still catch 5 or 6 fish.
Oh,
and I'm like, reeling nice and slow, taking it easy, feeling those fucking bites, and I come up with, oh, my bait's gone. Or I get bass. I get smallmouth bass all day.
You got a couple largemouth.
Yeah.
And bass ain't too bad.
And I got hit by one pike. I saw his belly. But then he saw it was me and he was like, oh, no.
Sister catches more fish than I do.
There's a joke sitting right there. It's right there for the taking, polar bear.
fancy tower of on either trout. That a trout was caught and fought 2 weeks in the kitchen.
I can't. Trout's much more gross than most fish to me. I'm more of a salmon, and it's got to be a fresh, right from the river type of salmon, and catfish. Catfish all day. Deep fried catfish. Yummy.
What are you yawning for?
Because I want to get back on Bushcraft Survival conversation. Fish bore me. I can't help it. I do love fishing. But, like, there's only so much I can talk about fish because, you know, I want to catch fish. I'm cursed, man.
Maybe
Like-
you need to start doing some catfishing.
I'm about to just start swimming with them.
No one knows about catfish until they go noodling.
Miss Native, you're actually right on that one.
Colin, I had this carp.
Oh, he was beefy.
He ate my lure. Well, not my lure, my bait. When it would fall off the hook, he wouldn't touch that shit. The whole time it was sitting there on the hook, it would sit on the spillway. He would sit there and just swim by it, swim by it, swim by it. The second that thing fell off the hook, I watched him. Boom. And he would eat it up.
Every time.
He would go by me so many different times. I almost netted his ass like 3 or 4 times. I legit was sitting there by a 70-foot spillway waiting to freaking scoop him.
Hopefully not go in.
Yeah, and
in the
hopefully not
process.
go in that fight. I was risking that. I didn't care. I wanted him.
He's
For
gonna take you
weeks.
down.
For over a month, I was doing this. And then, of course, I come back one day, and what do I see? Him floating on the surface with a arrow hole through his freaking neck. He got arrowed by a bow fisher and tossed back in. Bow fishers, I hate you. Easy way to start a fire?
Bark. You know, woof woof.
Well, yes. Obviously, the easiest way to start a fire is definitely going to be using some birch bark. It's my favorite method. A feather stick. I did a video on that. Scraping fat wood. Yes. I need to build a TP this year. I wish I had more skins. I know I have a ton of skins, but the number of projects I have, I need more skins. I'd love to do a skin covered TP. That would be awesome. But I do want to build a TP, and I know you need a board for your freaking bow drill. Remind me when you're here.
She forgets when she's here, and she only remembers when she's not.
She almost trips over the woodpile when she steps out the car.
Every time. But still does not remember about her piece of wood that she still needs.
But definitely scraping fat wood, making a feather stick, and if you use sticks, like twigs and sticks, start as small as you can and work your way up as you go, and don't be afraid to kind of like build up the layers extra. Well, I had a brain aneurysm and can't remember shit. So, that's my excuse.
But it's not an actual excuse that truly happened.
Well, yeah, I know, but
And you can't ask me to remind myself or do any kind of reminding of anything because good luck with that.
and for the background story of that, I legit I had a pressure building up in the back of my head for about a month and a half, and I couldn't figure out what it was. Felt like a constant pressure headache that just kind of thumped with my heartbeat. And one day it just got really, really intense, and then it felt like someone came up behind me and caught me with a spike in the back of my head. And I had a stroke and seizure at the kitchen table, and figured out that I had a brain aneurysm that burst in the back of my head. It got so bad with my memory issues that I was forgetting someone's name while I was standing there talking to him. I'd lived upstairs from him for like a year, and
Best friend, brother.
yeah, I couldn't remember his name, and I was just like, "What's up, bro? What was your fucking name?" Sitting there thinking to myself the whole time, "What is this dude's name?" And I came upstairs and I was like, "Hey, I was talking to him. I was talking to him because he lived downstairs." I was talking to him. She was like, "Wayne." I was like, "That's his name." She was like, "What do you mean?"
I just gave him a look like, what do you mean? Of course you know his name.
I couldn't think of his name, and I totally forget words sometimes. I can't place. I can't think of words and place them sometimes, but it has improved.
Brother, that's horrible.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Polar Bear. I definitely feel for you, and I know. When it happened, I told her, I said, if I'm still kicking in the next day, I gotta watch my my processing and make sure that I don't lose too much of my brain function. But I have showed improvement in the last close to a year now. It
was about a year ago, yeah.
Yeah. I focused on reducing my stress and trying to keep my blood pressure down. Married to this, though, doesn't help blood pressure.
That works both ways. I'm just happy I haven't been having seizures.
I make do, and I adapt. I started doing memory exercises and focusing on my word association. If I couldn't think of something, I wouldn't let her tell me, and I would sit there and associate words together and get to the word that I needed. It was it's a memory processing word
Backup?
association game.
What the fuck you calling a backup?
As my backup.
Yes, but this bitch is not a backup. Sorry, I'm very outspoken. No hard feelings, just very outspoken.
But so I did answer your question, Polar Bear, like 3 or 4 different ways that were really good to start a fire. Chapstick, Doritos, pine pitch.
Yeah, they all work as a fire starter.
Hollow piece of wood. Oh, fat wood. Oh, punk wood. Sorry, I already said fat wood.
Yeah, I know what you meant. I was messing with you.
The punk wood is the rotted wood. If you get that after it's dried and it kind of crumbles, man, that'll light up so easy. And if you combine all of those together, I was giving you the natural methods, the things that you don't, that you wouldn't like have with you, things that you could find. That's what I was, that was my advice. I always like to do natural stuff. I'll sit there and have a whole box of like cardboard and paper and just stuff that I could use as a quick fire start burner. And she'll be like, "What are you doing?" I'll be like, "Making fire starter." And I'm shaving a piece of wood, getting some bark, crumpling it all together. And she's like, we have the burn bag." And I was like, "So?" Wanted to start a fire with some natural stuff.
Hey, Native.
Yep.
What tools do you recommend for a person that's starting out bushcrafting?
So you?
Knowledge. That's above anything else. That is the first thing you should be gathering to prepare yourself to be a bushcraft or survivalist? I don't like using accelerant. You know that. Except for like bacon fat. Bacon
Nope.
fat makes a good accelerant, or the pine pitch. But
We don't use any chemical accelerants.
the tools, the first tools I definitely suggest is obviously knowledge. Getting your learning the skills and knowledge and the goddamn bacon. Hiya. The knowledge is definitely your most important tool. It's every skill is another tool that you can use and call upon anytime that you don't have anything. Because really, when it comes down to it,
Sorry.
there's been times where I was doing something at camp and I wasn't paying attention, and I left my knife stabbed into a log all the way across camp. But I needed to do something right then and there. I legit have reached down, grabbed a rock, smashed it, grabbed a sharp piece off of it, and used it.
Oh, it worked great, actually.
Yeah, she can verify that. I've legit done that
Great.
just because I didn't want to get my ass up and walk all the way across camp to go and grab the knife.
And neither did I.
And I just needed to cut something real quick or crush something or do something. So because I had the skill and the knowledge that that's all I needed was a sharp edge to do that, I had the ability to not have to expend the extra energy to go all the way across camp to grab it. And I know that's not like a huge big deal, but in a survival situation, every movement counts. It's really what it comes down to. You only have X amount of calories, you only have X amount of time, and if you're wasting both, you are getting closer to death. So I try to live those situations as if I have that limitation. Very old pine pitch is great for a fire starter. But as far as actual tools, crap, my saw is down there.
What? Antasha, what are you talking about?
The chemical accelerant, when you said that we don't use chemical.
Oh.
She was talking accelerants, and I said I don't use accelerants other than bacon. Hey, I mentioned bacon and he shows up.
I have been summoned.
You were summoned.
That's why he said, I have been summoned.
So, a fixed blade knife. Mine are a bit obnoxious to most people. I mean, this thing is longer than my palm. That's my entire hand. That's just the blade. And then my handle is a nice, big, beefy handle. I love this knife because A, slides out of my sheath super fast. Always works great as a self-defense knife. But that's me. The way this is shaped, I can do so many different things with this that it just... I can carve with this. I can cut food with this. I've literally flipped pancakes with this at camp.
It has. Yep.
And I have batoned with it, where you take a stick.
Damn bacon.
You take a stick and you set it in, and you take another stick and you pound it down until it splits. You can do that for crafting and also for cutting up your kindling and being a little more controlled. Personally, I don't like doing that with my knife. So I always have a hatchet. A camp hatchet, I can literally accomplish 99% of the stuff I need to do out camping, surviving, or whatever with just my Friscar's camp hatchet. I don't want to walk away from the camera again and go all the way downstairs. It's this tall, and it's just a simple hatchet head. You've seen it in so many of my videos. I literally just had it outside a little bit ago next to me. I can chop down an entire freaking tree with that. I can carve with it. I can cut food with it, and I have. I have flipped stuff with that. I flipped burgers with that. I can use it to adjust the fire because it has a fireproof handle. That's not a knife. This is a knife. My nickname is Dundee for the local crowd. So that's thank you for that one.
Did you see what Bacon said? I just used my blowtorch with the yellow can fuel, lights the wood directly on fire.
I don't bring a blowtorch in my backpack. Yeah, not. And if I'm bringing a blowtorch, if I'm bringing my torch, it is not to start a fire. It is to smoke. Sorry, my other channel is called the 420 Native for a reason. But yes, thank you for that. Now this here is a knife, and that's not even my biggest one. I have such a collection of knives, but
you had a bigger one, but you lost it on the freaking hill.
yes, my favorite big knife. I need a metal detector. Someone want to come out and help me find my knife? It is up on the hill somewhere.
But there's so many metals and other mineral metals out on that hill.
They on the screening, they can find it. They can find the difference.
Well, that's what I mean.
But
Or have a bit of magnet.
I do have one, but trying to pass that up and down the hill, man, that magnet weighs like 20 pounds.
I can barely
That's
the thing.
oh, that's a lot of weight to just drag up and down that hill. And yeah, yes,
You need
Crocodile
to get some
Dundee.
more muscles.
Don't make me break out the guns, man. I have stretch marks because my muscles grew too fast.
True story.
Like legit. I stretched out my shoulder because I was lifting logs 3 times my body weight the other day, and my shoulder dipped. I came in like this, and she's like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "What?"
Didn't even notice he was sideways.
And my shoulder my shoulder wasn't working. Don't make me grab one of mine.
This is mine.
This is called the Steel Mistress. This is what she likes. This is what she likes to bring to camp.
Yes.
Although I'm always worried one of these times she's going to be really upset and using this one time and stab herself in the freaking head.
I haven't yet.
Hey, it was Mom knocking, not someone else. But
so you just almost stepped your finger.
I didn't. So come on out, Colin. You're always welcome. I'm in upstate New York. Start up the RV. But yeah, Polar Bear, the local crowd, they call me Dundee because of Crocodile Dundee. The first time they saw me, I was canoeing down the creek. I had my cowboy hat on, and it's got that medallion in the front of it. I'm legit about to make one of those. Oh, I can make one. I just take one of these bars hanging around, wrap some copper around it, and put a charge to it. It's an electromagnet.
Looked like it was tearing up for a minute.
No, remember it's looped in. You can just unloop it.
I don't like it being on, so I tighten it.
Awesome. But Chris, the tools for bushcrafting, some sort of cordage, whether that's paracord, the micro cord I was showing you, and I got all these for free. I got 13 of these for free. 14. The website that I shop on all the time, well, I haven't for over a year, but at the time I was shopping on these, they marked it $0.00. It was a mix-up, so I was like, I'm gonna order 11 of these, put it into my order that I was packaging at ordering at the time, and they sent it out, and I was like, no way, let me order 1,000. I was stupid. I should have just kept ordering 10. 10. They wouldn't notice, but they saw that 1,000. They're like, wait a minute. What? So they sent me an email and they're like, well, we're out of stock. We only have 3 left. Whatever. But cordage, A fixed blade knife, I definitely prefer, because when it comes down to it, you will hurt yourself far less and risk far fewer injuries with a fixed blade knife versus a folder. Because whether it's one of these that has the push down, and even though this one is tough to close it, or if it's a liner lock to where you actually have to open it or push it over to get it to close, they will fail at some point or another, or risk failing. And how's it going, Tank? So if you're using this and you're messing with something, and if I've got my hand gripped on it and I'm not paying attention and I'm cranking on something or I'm trying to cut something, I don't want to do this to myself. I don't want to fold this over my hand and clip a finger. So even though this is much bigger, a bit obnoxious to most people, New York State doesn't have a length regulation. It's style and designated intent of purpose. So anytime I've ever had to talk to a cop about it, I'm always like, these are my outdoor knives. I'm an outdoor survivalist. It's like, those are weapons. No, they're not. They're tools. Tries to say something. I'm like, Penal Law Article 400. These are legal. Then they leave me alone. But most of the time, the cops just really love my knives and they just want to admire them.
I was gonna say most of the time.
I went through the county court building one time and I had this awesome knife. It had it was a folder, and it had two thumb cantilever prongs that were sticking out of either side, so I could open it which way I was holding it. It opened to the one side, but I could flick it down or flick it up and it would open. And it was a thin, long blade, and it had a nice thumb groove on it. And the cop is talking about, he's like, oh, this is a nice knife. Oh, it's got that nice hand groove. It'll fit real nice. And the blade is nice and thin. And these thumb studs, your hand won't slip when this is a nice knife. Because he stopped himself. He was about to explain about how the knife could fit through ribs if I needed to stab someone. And I'm like, thank you, officer, for admiring my knife.
And telling me to stab someone.
And telling me that it worked great for stabbing someone through the ribs. Cool. Not the reason I have it, though.
Hello, Tinkerbell, and you're welcome. I've been dropping everyone's link.
See, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Colin said he cut his finger the other day. Was it a folder that the folding mechanism failed, or the lock mechanism failed?
See, my thing with that is, if you don't at least cut yourself once, if
It's
it
not
doesn't
your
have your blood on that blade, it's not your knife.
Yep, you don't own it until it cuts you. That's
Every single one of my knives have cut me.
Yep. And if it's a big freaking knife, I will trim my nails just to make sure I end up drawing some blood at one point. So that way I'm like, okay, there we go. It cut me. I won't do it on accident and I won't lose a finger. And user error. You want to expand on your user error? It's happened to me. My first ever knife accident. I stabbed myself in the leg with a steak knife because I was making a Halloween costume and I had a hat, just a build hat, so snapback, and I didn't realize that the brim was made out of plastic. So when I went to go cut through it, it wasn't wanting to cut, and then I'm like 6.5, 7. So I had it on my lap with a piece of cardboard underneath it because, that was going to protect me. Totally going to protect me. And I was stabbing at it, and I got upset and stabbed. Well, the hat skipped out from under the knife, and I stabbed myself in the freaking leg with a steak knife. Yeah, that was fun. I was across the room from my mom, and I went, shit. I'm 6, 7, maybe. And my mom didn't even look up from her computer. How bad you hurt yourself? I'm bleeding. Bad.
There's the hole.
Yeah. So my mom brought me over. I hobbled my leg over to my mom, and I was like, look. She threw a butterfly stitch on there, wrapped some gauze on it, and I was good. I still got the scar.
Pretty much, yeah.
I love Smith & Wessons. The Smith & Wesson? Yeah, Smith & Wesson. The Smith & Wesson. The Smith... I ain't speaking English no more. And Chris, I know you're hiding because you're laughing at me. The Smith & Wessons are awesome knives. They definitely have a great quality, and their locks generally work pretty well.
You were cutting an avocado? Oh my god, it's perfect.
Remember, it has a core. You can't go through the core. Go around it.
I put a machete into my leg whenever I was about 15 years old.
Luckily, most of my worst accidents happened when I was a kid. I missed with an axe, and it bounced forward and caught me just below my kneecap. My knee's all scarred up. Well, but is the bacon crispy? And that's exactly what I was talking about the other day. It was like a few weeks ago, when I stomped my way through the ice sheet. Yeah, I knew better than to stomp on it. I knew I shouldn't have stomped on it, but I still fucking stomped on it. And yeah, went through the ice. So that was awesome.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a comment to that anymore.
Hey, I don't feel pain anymore. I don't care that the bottoms of my feet are still pink.
That's not the point. And you know it.
You.
You.
But yeah, most of my injuries, most of my accidents happened when I was really young because I had a lot of leeway. I was able to use whatever I wanted at any point in time. So I was playing with a double-headed axe. Yeah. At 6, 7, 8, and 9. It was my favorite axe. It was my stepdad's. He was awesome. But back to the bushcrafting and survival crap. Like I said, the best tools you can bring, a fixed blade knife, and that's the whole conversation ended up being because of the fixed blade knife. A fixed blade knife that has a nice sheath on the belt definitely would be great. A hatchet, cordage of whatever you prefer, paracord, microcord. Everybody loves the boiling cups to boil your water in. I personally like. Now, this is pricey. Most expensive thing I own as far as outdoor gear. Yes, I know, because the queen needed her goddamn castle in the woods. I'm sleeping in a hammock with a goddamn tarp, and she is in a 3-room cabin tent.
Why do I not sleep in a hammock anymore?
Hips.
There you go. Because I'm a woman and I have hips that don't like to squeeze together. It's called thunder thighs and hips.
Oh, Sandy Toes, I am invincible.
Don't let him fool you.
I am invincible. But fuck you. I can't remember what I was saying now.
You started by saying I'm invincible. It's your own fault.
don't know if Rocky Mountain Life Prospecting is here. He did pop into my other one, but
He popped in for a minute.
was he here?
He was here, yeah.
I haven't caught everything on chat.
It's been going crazy.
That's awesome.
We were up to 10 people and now we're back down to 8.
I said I was invincible and everybody ran because I'm full of shit. Fuck. Oh, the most expensive thing I own as far as my Bushcraft Survival Outdoor Kit, it is the Grail GeoFilter GeoPress filter bottle. Man, that thing is awesome. Like, if you want a drink of water, I would never ever drink out of the Great Secondogga Lake just because I know what borders the lake. But I can literally walk up to that, slide the sleeve off, scoop up some water, and press it down into that thing. I have a full bottle of clean, cold, drinkable water in less than a minute.
And it tastes so good.
Yeah.
I'm not one for drinking certain types of water because all water tastes like metal. Just everything tastes like metal. Unfortunately, being anemic, it does that.
But I put a bottled water through that filter, and it tasted better coming back out. And it filtered out the crap that they put in it. You get just straight water coming out of that. And it's the best thing I've ever owned. It is a little pricey. It's $90 for the bottle.
Yeah.
But it comes with an extra filter. Or just the one filter.
Just the one.
Well, there is a kit that comes with the extra filter.
Get that kit. Even though it's
You have to send me the link for that one.
It's in my shorts.
Yep.
Is it?
Yes, I did a video on it.
I have to go find it.
Yeah, it's a while back on my shorts, but if you went backwards, it might be faster. If you did my oldest and went to my newest, it might be faster.
It's called a Grail. The Holy Grail.
Yeah, I don't like the life straw because of how much, and go ahead and make the joke, I don't like the life straw because of how hard you got to suck on it to get anything through it. Yeah, that's not my job. It's hard.
And even I don't have the lung power to do that life straw. That thing hurts my tongue. It hurts my mouth. It pulls my cheeks in. I'd rather die of thirst before I do the life straw. Pretty much.
But literally less than it's marketed as 8 seconds per bottle, but as it goes and as the filter gets older, it does take a little bit longer. When we were last at camp and I was using it, it was like 15 to 30 seconds for me to press it down and get the water through it. But I mean, even if you're dying of thirst, that's so much faster than scooping up some water into a pot, boiling it over the fire, letting it cool off. I'm sorry, I don't want to do that shit in the summer. Done. Happy.
And if you get a lighter colored one, it doesn't go as hot as fast. It keeps the cool just a little bit longer.
Can you hear her?
No, I said it low so you can say it.
Okay. I have a darker colored one, and it does kind of get hot sometimes, so I got to keep it in the shade. Hers is a light white pink color, and it definitely stays cooler much longer because it reflects the heat.
It's actually a white orange.
No, yours is white pink. Yours has the faded pink frost color on it. Yes.
It's clear and has the orange top.
No, it has the orange bottom because that's the filter.
I didn't know
It has a gray. It has a gray bottom. Or has a gray cap.
Oh.
She don't even know what she got.
It's been so long since I've seen that thing. Just saying. I need a new filter for mine.
Well, Colin, if you have any questions, feel free. Obviously, just drop them in and I will get to them. If I don't see them, she'll let me know. A Catadine silver impregnated pump action water filter. It's rated at like 10,000 or so gallons. Works well. Pricey, but worth it. Yeah, mine is supposed to be what was it, 3,000 presses.
Yeah.
It came out to be like 600 gallons or something like that.
Something like that.
But the filter replacement was only $25, and it's like $35-40 for the two.
You definitely understand that matter.
Yes. Yeah. If that was the only thing you were relying on an 8-mile trailhead, yeah. The life straw will kill you. They call it the life straw because it sucks the life out of you.
Pretty much.
And native. Hey, if you was going to actually just camp out one night and you made your shelter and all that, what type of food would you actually take with you?
Well, what I really want to do is after I get these deer processed, I'm literally going to take a hike out there with a deer leg over my shoulder. I'm full carnivore, dude. I will literally eat just meat for like 3 days if I had the option. She's what keeps me in a balanced diet of actually eating something other than just meat.
Pretty much.
Because I'm the type of person, I'll slap a steak on the stove and just cook the steak and eat it out the pan. And I'm good. Mostly raw. Like, I like red bloody steaks. I want it to eat my salad for me so I don't have to.
That's fucking gross.
Hey, and when you're eating deer, they have already eaten the salad for you. So you're good.
Yes, well, I like greens. Like collards and stuff. And other greens. And
Now-
I'm in love with fruit.
Now, how bulky is that Katadyn silver impregnated pump action water filter?
God, it's a mouthful.
Yeah. How fast can you get a bottle of water? Because I've done the drip feed ones, don't like it, and it ends up tasting gross after like 3 uses. And I'm not carrying lemon juice with me out in the wilderness to clean that every other time I filter it. So
That's an unnecessary item that does not go on my pack.
and a lot of times for me, I try to shave off whatever poundage I could. But as far as like a normal person bringing food to go for an overnight, just keep it simple. Like simple things, dry foods.
Jerkies, nuts, trail mixes, fig bars, wafers.
Jerky.
Lots and lots and lots of jerky.
Because with jerky, here's the thing. If you have a bag of jerky or 2 bags of jerky, you can have one that you can just snack on. And then at night, if you want to make and cook something over a fire, throw that jerky in some water. Just like a cup of water for a bag of jerky. And you'll end up having steak bits by the end of it.
And if you have like a spare rice bag, or honestly, you should definitely take rice with you because it's a filling. You can create herbs to put in it as long as you know which herbs to use, which I do, but not everyone does.
And if you can find a foraging guide for your area, it definitely helps. If you know what to look for, it helps. I made a few things. I don't forage that much because, again, I'm not big on anything other than meat.
It's more of a me thing.
But I love chaga. That's my favorite That's my favorite remedy for just about everything. It boosts my system, and it's just a calming tea that I can make.
And it's not the greatest tasting, but if you mix it with either some coffee or maybe even some lavender, like I have herbs that I mix it with to help spruce it up, make it a little bit less yuck.
But you know the Knorr pasticides, Knorr, the pasticides in the store, it's the bag. You throw that in a pot with some boiling water and boil it up. Ramen, things like that, simple things. don't make more work for yourself. Don't be one of these people that is bringing out a freaking 3-course meal that you got to process everything and all that, because it's a whole lot of extra weight. Yeah. Especially down there, you're down south. Don't bring anything perishable. That'd be my biggest thing, unless you're going to cook it soon and then you can just reheat it later.
And bring salt.
Hold on 1 second.
All right. 1,000. You're late.
Always have salt. Always. If you can't provide or green salt, you need to have it. Salt is a necessity. It's a health necessity, especially when you're excreting all of the salt during the day.
Chaga is technically a fungus that grows on birch trees in wetland areas.
It comes off of trees.
Birch trees.
Yes. Sorry, I didn't hear the tree part.
It's not technically a mushroom, although people call it a mushroom. It is a fungus, and it actually makes a great fire starter. People will do their bow drills right into the chaga, and it works. It smolders very nicely, holds an ember, and you can transfer it pretty easily. But it has it's antioxidants, and it's kind of a natural antibiotic. I actually made a chaga tea when I had a really bad run-in with leeches.
Which is also in your video. It's also in your video.
Which also I did a video of that. If you see my video called Beware of Leeches and Chaga as a Remedy, it was my experience because I got a leech on my foot when I was wearing flip-flops in the creek. And I wasn't paying attention. I didn't realize that I had a leech on me. And I was walking around, but it kept getting squished underneath the band. Now, having a leech on you, pulling it off safely, it's not an issue. One thing, never freaking burn them. Never put salt on them. They will regurgitate your blood that they have digested back into your system, and they release a bacteria into your blood, and it'll go back into your bloodstream and can cause a systemic infection. I had a very rapid, very bad systemic infection that happened from that, and it was terrible. Like, I felt half dead. I was pale. I was shaky. It was not good. But a few doses of the chaga for a couple of days, and I was all right.
And me.
Well, luckily you didn't get leeches on you like that.
No, I would have died. What happened to you would have killed me because of me being so anemic. The minute they would have started sucking on my blood
And it regurgitated.
it would have killed me because I would have got instantly sick.
Yellow root? I don't think we have yellow root in our area, or at least I'm not familiar with it.
Far as I know, we don't. Not around here.
Alright, and Tosh, we love you.
Now the goddamn bacon, are you shooting it off of your friend? Because if you're just shooting the whole foot off, I mean, that's just a redneck amputation. Then you just cauterize that and you're good.
But on a serious note, definitely don't shoot them off.
Yeah, what you
They'll
do,
still regurgitate.
the way you take them off is if I catch it fast enough and I can see which side the head is on, I will slide my nails, if I have any at the time, underneath the tail and pull it backwards to release the mouth. Or you take a knife, you slide it underneath, you get it just underneath, you slide it under the tail up to the head, and then you pull it away. If you do it slow enough, you can actually see the tendril come out of you, and it could be a little leech like this, but it'll have a tendril sticking into you like 2 inches. Because it burrows that tendril in to try to find a blood source. It's east to Midwest, but they say it's a natural antibiotic. I'm trying to remember yellow root. I haven't had any experience with it. I haven't messed with yellow root yet. Like I said, I haven't gotten too deep into the foraging.
I know what you're talking about, but around our area, it's not actually common. We would have to go a little bit further up into the mountains.
That's probably a little further south or a little further
We'd
west.
have to actually go up and over. We're more going like a northwest type of thing. Because I remember seeing some up in the top mountains when we were going up there.
Oh, Wells?
Yeah. Yeah, there were some in Wells. It was very rare. There was only a few every now and then. Oh, that's nasty.
Yeah, they're bad. Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. The rotting feet needed some air. Oh, Homestead Family Reclaim. I didn't realize you were hanging out. Good night. Get some sleep.
For a while. Have a good night.
Sorry, baby. You got any other questions there, Chris?
No, that's it. I'm getting off of here about 3 minutes.
Okay.
Bye.
That's a specific timing.
Yeah, I gotta get up at in 6 hours.
That's it? Yeah.
Yeah, usually I only get maybe 5-6 hours of sleep, and then I get up and work 13-14 hour shift.
I generally sleep about maybe a total of 5 hours, but like 2 or 3 at a time sometimes. I don't sleep. I'm insomniac.
I get ill if I don't. I gotta at least get 6 hours of sleep, or I'll be ill.
If I actually sleep past 6 hours, that's when I don't feel good. That's when I get weak and I'm just lethargic and I just want to go into a coma.
He does, yeah.
Oh, golden seal. Okay, yeah, I know what that is. That's the other name for yellow root. That's why we couldn't think of it. We call it golden seal.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, it was what I found up in Wales.
Yeah. That's actually
Because I would
what I put in
on
that
it.
tea. I put it in that tea that we made at the apartment at the first Bushcraft camp when I made the pine needle, birch sap, and golden seal.
It was just a little bit tardy because of that.
I used too much pine.
Well, yeah, there's that.
Yeah, I put too much pine needles in the pine tea, and it came out very
Piney.
very sharp. Now, obviously, I strained it, but I mean the taste was sharp. So no one's like, "Oh, you're just drinking the pine needles."
No, it was drained very intensely.
Also, my laptop's about to die. It's at 5%.
Hmm?
I said my laptop's at 5%, so it's about to die.
So plug it in, slacker. But we'll catch you later. You can drop off. If anybody else wants to come up, they can.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night, and I'll talk to you later, man.
Yeah, you have a good one.
You too.
Bye, Chris.
And that is the Crumb Snatcher Outdoors. People can feel free to check him out, show him some love and support. And Heavy Meadow, if you want to try to come up again, feel free. If anybody else wants to, I will drop the link once more.
He said, turns out
Bushcraft
Yeah,
talk.
I saw that.
I didn't know that.
Mother, he was.
Is he talking to me? I'm so confused. Foraging is cool.
He's talking to your aunt about golden seal. Thank you.
Yep, every time. This is what I'm working on.
My 2 mishmash socks. I don't have a freaking pair that I haven't seen anywhere.
It's a big thing actually where we're from too. Bacon said hot Russian eggs. Ooh, swamp rat! Hey! I didn't know you were even in here.
Hey, Swamp Rat. You want to come up and have our bushcraft? What was it?
Where's the goddamn bacon? He said hot Russian eggs would make pine tea with noodles she collected while we lived in June Lake. Apparently that's a thing where she's from. Just stopped in for a second. It's one day.
That's pretty.
That's Christopher Stovers. That's pretty.
What's pretty?
Oh, I showed him my picture.
Oh.
But I didn't even know.
Christopher was in here. I don't know who that is. So
I feel you, Swamp Rat.
I was also just waiting for smoke. Yeah.
We have to do our bushcraft versus survival skill video sometime, where we're supposed to talk about that and have that conversation about the difference in the 2 skill sets, about how people take woodsman skills versus survival skills versus bushcraft skills. Sorry, baby.
It's okay.
Sorry, I had to change my socks. I have to be a little more mindful on that. I can't feel the pain from my boot rot, so it happens. Rock and Ore, love that you always stick around and hang out for the whole time. You're awesome. If anybody has any questions, any bushcraft or survival questions or things that they want to mention, if anybody wants to come up, the link is just up the chat a little bit.
So else can come help him with chat. Because I'm going to lay down. Which means I'm getting off of here.
Yeah, it's 2:14, so I mean.
Yeah. Peace out. I'll leave it on my phone.
That's awesome. He's got a studio in his treasure room now. And you have a treasure room now. That's awesome, bro. He's going to end up having this whole homestead museum. But yeah, in all seriousness, like my pain helps you survive video, really not having my pain sense, not having the ability to feel pain is getting to be very troublesome. My shoulder slipped out of place, like I was mentioning earlier. I came in, I was leaning like this because this shoulder was totally out of place and just kind of like hanging there. I didn't feel it because I pushed myself too far and I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing, and I just had way too much weight on my shoulder, and it just slid my joint right out of place, and I never knew. Colin said, I have a question. How can I smoke a roach out of an avocado without cutting myself?
Oh man. Is the roach your finger that you cut yourself with?
I've never smoked out of an avocado.
I smoked out of apples and a watermelon, but that's about it.
Yeah, I never smoked out of fruit. I've always used a can. You take a can, you put a divot in one side, poke a couple of small holes, and then you poke a little carb hole, and then you smoke out of that.
We made a monster can of bong. That thing was.
Yeah, see, the goddamn bacon, I had such a really high pain tolerance that I didn't feel most of the things that usually would bother people. But then I fell 2 weeks ago now, and I injured my spine, and I haven't felt any pain. I damn near knocked myself out the other night. I was loading wood into the neighbor's house for him, and he had an old school clothes hanger thing for like socks and underwear and stuff. With those small racks, it's like yay big, stuck out this far off the wall. Never even noticed it before because it was always pushed against the wall, and it just one of those swinging arm things, and it was swung out, pointing directly over the wood pile in his house. And I came in, and it was like right there, dead level with my forehead, and I wasn't paying attention. I leaned forward, went to go put it down, and my head got short stopped, but the rest of my body kept going. He said, Can, you solved it.
Were you the one tapping at me? No, I was downstairs and I was talking.
Yeah. That's weird. It might have been the boy scratching.
No one's moved.
Christopher Stover said that he just watched my carving video live from last night and enjoyed it. Thank you, Chris. Oh, you got 60% of a wood stove. That's awesome. But yeah, my head got short stopped, and the only reason why I know that I had a concussion is because I dropped to my knees, and I was dizzy, and I could just feel this pressure in my head. But I didn't feel the pain that I should have felt from it, and it sucked. Not having that communication with your body to be like, this hurts, please stop. I pushed myself too far. Oh yeah, if everybody could help me out, hit that like button, definitely appreciate it. But not having that communication with my body to be like, this is my limit, I shouldn't go past this. I push myself far beyond what I should. And oh yeah, I know, Rat. With the problems you have, you can't mess around. That's definitely a ER trip. Take care of yourself kind of thing. But you know me, I don't do hospitals. I don't do doctors. That's not, no, I don't do it. Spent most of my childhood in hospitals with my mom, so that's something I heavily avoid. But not having that communication with your body to be like, knowing your limits, you push yourself past them, and you could really end up hurting yourself. That is common belief, and I'm pretty sure it's pretty accurate, although the wife is a bit of a wuss when it comes to pain. You are.
No, it's only certain pain because of all my nerve problems. I react to pain a little bit different now because of what happened to my nerves.
So there's that. But I'm pretty sure that's a common trait among most of the natives. I think it's just a hardiness, but it's kind of like anything.
Still keep going and not to keep going. Sorry.
You can develop a pain tolerance. So I mean, that's a yes and no kind of question. And I've been wondering that too, Bacon. And if anybody wants to share this live stream out to your community tab or whatever, your Facebook page, definitely help me out. Trying to get some people who want to learn some knowledge, ask some questions. Had some good questions in here so far. And Colin, I know you're still hanging out. I'm pretty sure you're still hanging out. Do you have any other questions? Any other things you're wondering about?
Coming in for landing. Oh, I heard myself.
I'm 45 and a tough guy. My pain tolerance always ends up at mom. What do you mean? The Jeep Fund had some good progress the other night. I haven't had any further donations to help with the Jeep Fund yet. We're still at least 1/6 of our goal to be able to get the Jeep going. I get that. Needs the big head. The Cash App is in the description. I remember to put it up. It's you want to drop that?
Mm-hmm.
What I've been doing is anybody who makes a donation to help us get the Jeep going on the road, I'm taking it more as a loan than a donation, true donation. I am making anybody who makes a donation a custom walking stick that I've been carving. That's what the other carving video is for. And I will be repaying anyone who makes a donation. And the wife dropped the Cash App there. But the reason I play it like that is yawner. I just yawned. Makes you yawn. Is because I'm asking for it. I don't feel like it's to me it's not like a true donation situation where somebody sees the cause, they see what we're doing, and they want to help and support us, and they just send it of their own accord. Because I am asking for it, I'm taking it as a loan, so I want to repay that by paying it back when I'm able to get the Jeep on the road and get some work going. Get out of my way. And I am making the walking sticks to show my appreciation. Yeah, you either need to change your name or I'm blocking you. Sorry. Yep. Bye. Yep, sorry, that's
I reported them as well.
that was a lean in bot right there. That was pretty creative that he actually spoke instead of trying to drop a link. And another one. Wow, 2 for 1.
Oh my god! Another one! Holy hell!
Wait.
Those were these nasty dudes.
Did it say you already?
Mm-hmm. It'll say it by you because I'm your moderator. It doesn't give me. Oh my god.
Yeah, I wonder who that is. Freaking. Yeah, that was 3 bots in a row,
And
all of the
another
same
one.
shit.
I just got another one. That's 4 bots in a row. What the crap? Yeah, of course I'm gonna use your stupid ass. Disgusting. What the hell?
Yeah, yep, so getting
That's
slammed right now.
7 in a row.
I got that one.
So did I.
What in the royal fuck is happening right now? Watch that be the huntsman being a dick. Somebody message Big Matt. Tell him I need him.
I don't have big names. It's a live troll.
Yeah, we know what you meant. Now I'm just waiting. I'm not moving my hand.
John, get a fucking life, bro.
Come on.
What the hell? Real men taking up the art? The Heights 718?
Where'd that come from?
I'm getting a review thing for everyone. Look. I've been getting that for everyone, even the people that have been here this whole time.
What the?
I don't know what's
Jesus.
going on.
Yeah,
I see.
Yeah, she showed me that you guys are fucking slamming them as fast as you can, and oh man.
White to rule the world? Who the fuck are you?
But Heavy Meadows, definitely if you can help out, we would definitely appreciate it. I'll make you a walking staff.
And I make a secret special gift.
And the wife is making a secret gift to share. To include. Sorry, this has got me so.
We've never been hit this bad by bots.
Yeah, I've never had these
live
kinds of
trolls
bots
and
popping up or the live trolls. Never had these pop up in mine yet. It's just the foreign bots that drop the porn link and just run away. This is something new that popped up since I saw it happening in Matt's. Outdoors with Big Matt had a big issue with that for a bit.
That's why you're setting up the bot thing.
Yeah, but Nightbot doesn't protect against bots.
How's it not?
Because Nightbot is a bot.
What's dumb? I thought that's the whole reason of it being called Nightbot, because it's supposed to take away the bots.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it must. The goddamn bacon. Did you share my link on your community? Because they might have gotten me from you if that might have happened.
Oh, I shared it on Facebook a second ago.
Oh yeah, you definitely might.
And thank you, Crumb Snatcher. It's always appreciated.
Yes, thanks, Chris. Like shit.
Alright, so I'm gonna drop the cash app again, just in case, because that just goes through.
So the wife is dropping the cash app again. I also have a Patreon where I'm going to be doing my live deer processing, and we just jumped a couple more viewers, so it might be happening again in a second. And for some of those, you guys caught so fast they never even popped up on StreamYard. The ones that are automatically held for review. Thanks, Rat.
We were getting so fast.
And that's the thing. If you are someone who just hates, you aren't a good person. That's not a persona that you are having. You are just not a good person. All those bots, people who act like that, trolls, it's. I hate it. And part of me actually wonders if that's the huntsman trying to fuck with me. Because he got upset that I was pushing my Patreon for the live deer processing.
I mean,
I would not put it past him.
And go get a life. Just saying. And stop being a troll.
But that was some fast switching. Like those.
Some quick hands for all of us.
But I definitely appreciate everybody helping me out there. That was a whole lot of bullshit. So back on point, if we can get there. If anybody has any questions, any bushcraft, survival, outdoors, anything really. Yeah, Rock and Roll, you saw that? That was nuts. Yeah, I must be part of the cool kids club. Finally got the bots and the spammers and the trolls. Definitely know you're moving up in the world. And I really wonder what their method is there. Are they trying to get people to lose their channel, or are they trying to get people to just end their lives so that way it increases someone else's?
It's just fast spam type of thing. Rocket Oregon. I love it. I love autocorrect sometimes.
Alrighty, Colin, you have a good one. I have a Facebook group if you want to reach me there, the Modern Native group. I understand that. The wife always goes to sleep before me.
It's because you lock up, you check everything, and
I secure the cabin with my home security measures.
yeah, my big boy right here, and that little boy.
Like, I have the house alarm, but I also have a backup security systems that actually will alert them. And it's pretty much just something that when you open the door, it's going to make a loud noise. And they're going to be on you before I even wake up.
On you before I grab my shotgun.
Screw the shotgun. Someone's getting a fucking tomahawk thrown in their face.
I was gonna say, I have so many things around me. I got this mallet right next to me with a bunch of spike balls on it.
And I can just rain walking sticks on them for a good 20 minutes.
I know what you meant, so I like picking on it. I like picking on the autocorrect more than anything. Because I have an iPhone, so autocorrect is a pain in my ass.
Yeah, I definitely need to do that. The subscribers only chat. But Crumb Snatcher, Chris. What I'm talking about is we got the wood stove, so I got the shovel to clean out the wood stove. I lean that up on the door because there's no way for you to open the door without that falling and making a big old clang. And that'll get the dogs going, which will instantly get me up. And that's being on your ass like white on rice before you can even get your foot through the door. Too slow. Too slow. Too slow. Yeah, I haven't seen it like that except for in Big Matt's live. He had this one and just kept coming in. But yeah, those are the type of people that won't meet you face to face. Not if you call them out.
No, he's actually saying something else. Trump Center said your dog's telling you it's bedtime.
No, actually, he might be because he's looking at me like, "Are we gonna go cuddle? Mom's in bed. Can we go cuddle?" And he wants my lap. Come on, fat boy.
Bacon, when we can make you a Marlboro. Good night, Swamp.
I thought I already did. I thought I did the goddamn bacon. I'm sorry. I made a ton of mods before. Good night, Rat. I know everybody calls you Swampy, but you always been Rat to me.
I just call you Swamp or Rat. Only because of him. Bacon, you're a dork.
Wait, what?
Are you for real? He's a pig. Are you being a troll?
So are you telling me right now I have 2 goddamn bacons in my channel?
Yeah, I'm so confused.
Let me see your phone.
It looks the same.
Oh, yup. The one that said, hey, mod me.
What the fuck? We've never had that. We've never had an impersonating bot.
That's the fake one.
These motherfuckers.
That's the real one. The goddamn
yeah,
bacon
I
has
know.
1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, I know.
I got him. Nice catch. Yeah, I saw it had the little white circle around it. Jesus, they getting fucking creative. Oh, and I swear to God, if it is you, you motherfucker, meet me face to face. We'll see who the real man is. I know you know who I'm talking to. And I don't care that I just put that on my YouTube. And you are a moderator, aren't you, Bacon? Like, on my channel, you're a moderator? And you would have never said that. The way you said the way he said that anyway. Hey, mod me.
Yeah, no. We've never had that.
But see, that's why before I make a mod, I always go to their channel first to make sure it's the real them, and then I make them a mod anyway. No, I'm definitely being targeted. I don't think it's I think it's a specific person who's having an issue with me right now.
It's because he's a pussy and doesn't know how to be a man and take care of his own fucking shit.
Yeah, it was so close. He did it so perfectly. I definitely need to set up subscribers only mode. But the only problem is they can subscribe to me and they can wait their 5 minutes to be able to freaking troll me if they're that, determined.
His name is the Huntsman or Huntsman?
Huntsman.
Huntsman.
Yeah. But don't call him out because
I'm not doing it.
I don't know if it is him. But the fact that I ran into him on my on someone else's live the other day, and now this is happening, I would not be surprised.
He literally has videos of bullshit. Okay.
What are you talking about, Colin?
He has a wolf as his logo.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry I keep doing the angry face at you guys. It's hard for me to read.
It's a squinty face.
Yeah, and then I had to make sure I was gonna block the right one. Like, so I went to his channel first on hers, and I was like, okay, the first one that said, "Hey, mod me." Alrighty, Crumb Snatcher, get some sleep. Have a good night.
Night again, Chris. But I just looked at his community, and 2 weeks ago he posted something saying why the solo bushcraft trend needs to end.
The what?
He said why the solo bushcraft trend needs to end.
Because he don't have the skills to actually do it.
Exactly.
But no, Heavy Metal, Colin, I wasn't talking about you. There's a specific person that has a real big issue with me. From the start, like, I barely had I wasn't even at 500 yet, and he was trolling me. But it was so fake because he trolled me, and then when his buddy called him out on it because he gave him my link to support me, he backpedaled and was like, "Oh, he's a great dude. He's gonna go far. Just keep grinding, yada da." And he was totally supportive. Then he ran across me again, and I guess forgot that he trolled and then de-trolled me, and started talking his shit again. And like, he gets fucking personal. Like, it's not legitimate points that he makes or anything else. He just talks shit. And it's just he's been trolling me from the start, and he's fake. He doesn't do his own videos. He just rides the coattails of everyone else. And he talks about his most popular video making him thousands of dollars still. The thing is, though, if you are an outdoorsman, you're a bushcrafter, and your most popular video is talking about or referring to another bushcrafter, outdoors person, and it's just titties, you aren't real. I feel you. I feel you. You got to put your own defensive line out there to just, point out that you're being cool. But no, if you're using other people to make your popularity grow, you aren't a real person. You aren't a real content creator. You're a piece of shit. That's Colin. He was up on here a little bit ago. Now, I don't want to get too personal, Colin, but is your sleeping arrangement your only option because of your situation? Put it that way. Sounds better. Or is that a lifestyle choice? But that's just a whole lot of frustrating. But I'm not going to let them win. Not going to let them get me down. A little frustrated, but it's no worse than StreamYard and YouTube pissing me off when I was doing it outside. And that wasn't like the conditions that I didn't want to be out there. It wasn't that the fire wasn't working, because it was working. It was doing good. It was simply that I was having technical difficulties and it just didn't want to work outside. I don't know what the issue was. Second I came in here and set it up, it was fine. I don't know. So we have a sleeping lurker. Tasha, I'm going to implant dreams while you're sleeping. I'm going to talk to you and make you have strange dreams. You know, exactly. They wouldn't be putting their energy into me if they didn't need to try to bring me down. I don't know if you're still reading.
No.
The goddamn bacon said, don't let them get to you, man. They wouldn't target you if you weren't doing something right.
Exactly. Exactly. I just found dirt back there. Sorry, it was random.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Fuel is definitely expensive, and it's a pain in the ass. We're using a kerosene heater and the wood stove to battle the cold up here. It's a lot of space in the cabin, and trying to get it to stay warm and thawed.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't wake up with frozen ice buckets inside. My toilet don't freeze anymore. And thaw the sink out so I can get the brick of dishes out of the sink. That would definitely be appreciated. So that's why we're doing all that to
And also, I'm anemic.
yeah, she's anemic and always cold, and I get tired of the bitching.
Oh, fuck you.
I'm cold. I'm cold.
It's so bad. I'm cold. Damn. Yeah, that was my head.
You are snoring with your eyes open.
Oh, that's pretty normal for him, actually.
He just closed his eyes like, no, I'm not.
He'll snore loud as hell. Still have his eyes wide open. Not caring.
But I appreciate you guys. I appreciate that war zone with the bots. That was and the trolls. Like Crumb Snatcher didn't even say hi yet. He hopped in and was shooting the trolls down. He didn't even get to say hi yet.
No, he was going to bed. He was getting up to go to bed. And he came back in for like half a second and we had bot war. So he decided to help and not say anything and just help.
And you know, if you block someone, and see, that is the only reason I don't block people like that. Elise Wright, thank you for joining from Sapphire Diamonds.
It's because they tell us.
And it's Sapphire Diamonds Pearls. You did forget the L. But tell her I said thank you. You're awesome. Terracotta. But yeah. Drive up where? I had asked you earlier where you were located, like what state. Upstate New York. Oh. Can you stop being mouthy? Dad's going to bed soon. And the goddamn bacon, if you are doing a double-decker bus, you should definitely put in a wood stove. You get a small wood stove and you put in a firewall on it. Just fire bricks and some steel plating behind it. Even the thin sheet metal. That'll help you prevent a fire, and you can actually put a stovepipe right up through the top. And you put some of those heat-powered circulator fans in it. And that'll keep that super toasty no matter where you are. I've seen that on more than a couple of the van life, bus life, nomads. I got your fat roll. I got your fat roll. Fat neck. I don't like it when Dad picks on your fat neck. That's awesome. We want to do the same thing. We want an RV that we want to RV or bus or something like that we want to outfit to do the nomadic life for one of these summers or something, or the winter or whatever. Yeah, but I like my snow.
Yeah.
You should take a trip up here.
I don't like it for the snow.
I got a spot you can park it. And what you can do with that, the goddamn bacon, is you take your water tank, and you can take a small. You can find them. They're actually meant to be like bolted onto a wood stove. It's a hot water tank. You can literally connect it to part of the cold water. The cold water will flow in, heat up, and then you'll have the port coming out, so you can connect that to your sink or whatever for your hot water. Everybody says that, Elise. Everybody says that. When they show up late or they don't sub in time, they're always like, she's going to put a fork in my ear. I appreciate all the love that she has sent my way. She is awesome. She's probably the channel that gets shouted out the most from people like you who show up and say that they were sent by her.
That's because she just joined.
Today. Who?
Elise.
Yeah, I'm talking about Sapphire Diamonds.
I know. I'm telling you.
But Sapphire drops it like every day. She talks to her crew to have them come over and say hi to me every day. So there's always new people coming. Will you stop whining at me? Stop whining at me.
I love how much support.
I love messing with them. Also, the goddamn bacon, I would suggest solar panels and maybe a wind turbine that has a quick bolt feature, so that way you don't lose it when you're going down the highway. Oh man, there's so many things. I've got so many design plans and things when it comes to that. Could have a mobile off-grid self-sufficiency thing.
What we're gonna do.
Sorry, self-efficiency. Be more than sufficient. What? You want Daddy to go lay down?
Your dog is beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
One's in the chair, one's being a mouthy brat on the floor.
She can see the face the whole time when, the fat head's out of the way. She can see the big head. You
big boy's in my chair, as usual.
Mm-hmm. You see the face? He says, me, Mom.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Come on, before your brother scoots over here. Oh. I wasn't saying my chest. You are such a brat. That's all he wanted.
So you can come in with Mama.
Says I'm waiting for Dad to come to bed. Yeah, if I do that sound though. What, Dad? Yes, there's 2 of them. And bacon, I would be careful with that. Once the wind speeds break a certain, limit, you will be harming the turbine. So I mean, you could always try to find like one of those high-tech, high-speed ones, and maybe like put it in a frame so it'll act like a little mini wind tunnel. That would definitely be efficient. I never understood why that wasn't a thing, like more common. Like all these electric cars and stuff like that, you realize you just pop one of those on top and that should charge up the battery well enough going down the highway. It's like, why do we not have more wind turbines sitting on the median in between the highways? 60 mile an hour is one way, 60 mile an hour is in the other. That's 120 mile an hour winds going by those turbines. Yeah, that's a lot of energy right there. Harness it. That's one of the designs in my green city that I'm going to be doing. I've been designing and inventing a self-efficient green city that would pretty much have a negative carbon footprint. So, be a good time right about here. My code word for my replay champions who want to let me know that they watch the replay all the way through and they watch it consistently and actually are watching it and hear the code word. My code word for this replay is going to be trolls. TROLLS. I almost said double L. Yes. Daddy's boy. I was reading Mommy's comment. Brat. He never wants to sit still, no matter what. Unless I'm laying down and he gets to sleep on my chest, it's the only time that he stays still.
Because he's a brat.
And for the first 4 August, September, October. So the first 2.5 months that we had him, he slept with me on my chest. What?
We got him in July.
No, August from my birthday.
Oh,
It was like
yep.
just before my birthday.
Yes, that's right. I always forget that. And my big boy's birthday in a month.
Yep.
He's gonna be 5.
Monstar turns 5 next month. So almost 2.5 hours in clock, and I have 3 people hanging out. One of them includes the native, Mrs. Native.
I'm Mrs. Modern, Mrs. Native. I love all names.
And Tasha. So creature. That's enough.
That for? I think the least may have that. Or
Creature.
I didn't know detective.
Enough.
Because you're just talking bacon and steady.
Yeah, and
That
oh, Rock and R's still here.
mix is native. Yes. Yes, it is. Yeah, my big blockhead.
So what about you, Rock? What's your outdoor experience? Do you have any questions on how I would accomplish something or what my methods are or anything to get back on the outdoor survival Q&A topic before I close this out? appreciate your watch time and your time. I definitely appreciate it. I really love that you guys are always hanging out with me. And yet, Bacon, Monstar was definitely like that. But oh yeah, it's just trying to get people involved in the conversation, and it's not, it wasn't like I was asking if I could teach you anything. It was just kind of one of those having the conversation about what my methods are. Being up in the northeast of the United States, it's the things I have to deal with are going to be much different than what you have to deal with down there in Australia. You have to deal with so many different extremes compared to the extremes I deal with up here. Yeah, you have so many more poisonous animals down there. Like if we wanted to talk about how to deal with snakes, I would be asking you. I only deal with eastern diamondbacks and water moccasins and a couple other ones, copperheads.
All types of snakes.
So it's like we don't have that extravagant, poisonous, deadly creatures that we have to deal with, except for noxious ass from the dogs. But just having the conversation. I'm probably gonna be ending it soon.
I'm actually getting out now.
And I appreciate that, Rock. I definitely do. Yeah, those brown snakes. I definitely know about those. I've seen a lot of National Geographic or Crocodile Hunter when he did his episode on them.
Those are the old ones. The new ones is the pandemic, baby.
Come on.
He doesn't eat cheese.
Yeah, I'm not big on cheese. I like mozzarella, provolone. But cheddar, eh. But as far as keeping something perishable or something that melts like that, a frozen water bottle definitely does the trick. That releases a lot of cold around something. If you take the frozen water bottle, you put that in a plastic bag, a Ziploc, then you put whatever you want to stay cold around it, and then you wrap that in tin foil. Definitely stays cold for a long time if you bury it in your pack and insulate it with clothes and stuff. So that way it doesn't catch that heat from the sun hitting the bag.
I also put it in another freezer bag after the tinfoil. It also doesn't get all your clothes wet. It helps with a lot.
Yes, avoid that condensation. I gotta fill that. Oh. So, I mean, I don't know if you were being sarcastic because I said I was in New York, but that is what I would do. I gotta say, one thing I love is we have a folding stool that has a cooler attached to it, and it has backpack straps. Never actually carried it like a backpack. I always just hook that onto my bag, and that's hanging around. Keeps things cool for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
And doubles as a seat.
Yes, it does, and it's actually quite comfy, even for rounder asses.
But when I'm not using it or I don't need it, I can, and it's empty, I can literally lay it down, fold it flat, tuck it somewhere, stays out of the way. I like things that are compact and stay out of my way.
Dogs don't count.
No, the dogs do not fall into that category. Although they fold themselves into strange shapes.
Yes, my dog does.
In shapes his giant ass should not be able to fit into.
Oh. And what is it you do now? Out of curiosity. Man, I wish I had just done the live in here. I had so many people coming in on those first 3 tries. I might just start carving some of these short sticks to make into batons.
I was gonna ask for one of them.
What?
I wanted the thickest one of the short.
Okay.
Of those the short ones that you brought up.
Yeah, I didn't want to mess with this one anyway.
Yeah, I wanted the thickest, shortest one.
It's got 2 big knots on it, so I don't
That's
want
fine.
3 big knots on it. I didn't want to fight with it.
I'm not worried about that.
He said, I like things that are compact and stay out of my way. You put that in quotes, quoting me. I'm putting that on my dating profile now.
Oh, you know, I'm still on here, right?
Huh?
I'm still on here.
Oh. And you said you were getting off like 3 times now, so.
Yeah, it is. See where I still am? Actually, I'm getting up now.
Ah, that's awesome.
Night, y'all. I'm getting out of here. You got 13 minutes left.
I only have 13 likes. Man, the trolls couldn't even throw me a like. Matt got like 20 freaking likes from the troll messing with him.
Sorry for my lip smack on the background.
Yeah, loud muncher. I think that's probably the majority of the sound that we're hearing. Oh, so yours must not have updated. Rock said I got 17.
Oh, yeah. I'm not on it anymore, so I don't know.
So, Rock, I got a question for you. What is the prettiest or most valuable thing that you have found? In your treasure hunting there? We have a local diamond mining mine that they let school groups and stuff go to. It's mostly quartz that's in there, but I found a tiny diamond. It was maybe about yay big. It was a perfect diamond. And I lost it in a move when I was younger, but man, I love that thing. I found like three of them. I was able to chip them off the bottom of a rock. It was there was a crack in a shelf where all the loose rock and everything had settled that covered the gap. So nobody had touched that for years. But I saw the crack going right along the edge of the ground. So I pulled away all that rock and debris and shined a flashlight under there. And I got a chisel under, and I was able to knock off some of the pieces. Pretty sure it was pretty valuable, but a 10-gram gold nugget. Wow. That would be awesome. I'm hoping to get lucky in the creek that's here. There's a gold vein that's supposed to be running through the valley here, and the creek cuts right through the middle of it. So I'm hoping that I might be able to find some. But if New York State asks, I didn't find it. Yeah, I'm almost wondering if someone's post got picked up for spam. Yes, I need a sluice box. Yes, I am. I'm going to very soon. Give me that look. Can we go puddle now? Think I need to check the wood stove too. Well, what's the price of gold by the ounce right now? Sapphire. She said, at Elise, I see you made it. No lecture, just appreciation.
Hi, Sapphire.
Yeah, I kind of figured that's what you were thinking, Bacon. It was, you were thinking 10 ounces, not 10 grams. But I mean, that should be close to 650 AUD. Thought it'd be a little more than that. But I can't remember the price of gold by the ounce anymore. She said, hey, Mrs. Modern. She's laying down. She's relaxing. She's not on the live anymore. Says I only have 2 people here, but there's 3 people talking. You found about an ounce in 2 days? Nice. It's a good work week right there. Now, Rock, do you have any suggestions about how I could, besides a sluice, like what method I could go about trying to find good deposit spots in the creek without tearing up a whole lot of the creek bed and stirring it up too much? I want to preserve nature as much as possible. Yeah, I was thinking it was closer to 4 grand. Thanks, Sapphire. Thanks for sending the love and sending your crew. I definitely appreciate it. I said earlier that most of the channel that I see pop up the most that somebody's come from is yours. Definitely appreciate it. I think I've seen roaming videos. I'll have to search some. Do you have any? Do you have any of those videos explaining that process? I'd prefer to support one of my supporters. If you have any of those informative videos. I haven't gotten a chance to really investigate a lot of channels. I definitely need to go to yours. I've been so busy the last few weeks, months, that it's been hard for me to keep up with everybody. Well, you definitely should. Teach me. Show me what I can do to tackle the creek without hurting it too bad. It's a beautiful creek and it's got a great formation and there's a lot of life that goes through here, so I don't want to stir up too much. So I'd really enjoy hitting certain spots just very carefully and not interrupting nature too much. Oh, and it says I only have one. That number is definitely off. Because I should at least have one sleeping. I got a snoozer, not a lurker. But I'm definitely getting really close to ending this. Gonna try to hit that 3-hour mark on the dot. I like the even numbers. It's only about 17 more minutes. Definitely appreciate it though, Rock. You've been here since the beginning and you stuck it out the whole way, been hanging out with me. It's awesome. I'm gonna be putting out more actual video content soon. Not just the lives. I don't feel like I get a lot of information across very much. And yeah, Bacon, like right now on the little eyeball on my StreamYard, it says 1. But you two are both talking to me right now, so I obviously have at least 2. And I have her Aunt Tasha said that she still had me playing, even though she was going to sleep, she still had it playing next to her. She always does. If I'm live and she's going to bed, so I should be seeing 3 there at least, but it's just weird. YouTube does so many weird things. Their analytics are off, their numbers are off, but it's approximations. That's what I feel like. Creature, stop whining at me. I will go to bed when I want to. You don't boss me around. I'm the boss of you. But I am getting tired, so I will be soon. I will be, yes. You big lughead. Hey, now it says 2. Huh. Now you're just annoying me. Yawner. Anybody? I guess it's just you guys. I mean, I already asked you guys if you had any questions. What about you, Bacon? Any outdoor survival, bushcrafting, adventure questions? Will you stop pointing your nose at the mic and whining? I know that has to be annoying. I know, right? I've been giving him attention. Yes, I do bow hunt. I'm actually going to be making my own bow this year. I'm very determined to do that this year. I gotta do some research. I'm trying to figure out if birchwood would be a good bow. I don't know. It has a tight grain to it. It's got some nice strength. But when it's dry, I'm worried about the snap. It doesn't have a ton of flex to it. What do you like to bow hunt? Hoy, hoy. Are you the star of the show? You're the star of my show. Yes. Yes. Awesome. Red fox. What do you do with the pelts? Obviously, I like tanning and doing stuff. I've got my deer pelt, my first one ever, that I using as a chair cushion. I bet they're hard to hunt. Foxes are fast. Telling me you're tired. You want to go to bed. So go lay down. Go cuddle with mom. That look, though. If you didn't throw your butt around. Well, if you watch my deer hide tanning, it's actually a pretty simple concept that goes across most animals. You take the brain out of the skull, mix it with some water to make it into kind of a watery paste kind of consistency. And if you want to keep the fur on, you just sponge it onto the skin side after you've cleaned the fat off. And you leave that for 4, 8, 12 hours. You don't soak it too much or let it stay for too long if you want to keep the fur on it. And then you can dry it, stretch it, and then the chewing process. And that's actually what it's called because, you know, they used to actually chew it to soften it. And it comes out to a nice pliable leather. I mean, I have an e-bike. But, I mean, bikes are definitely a relatively decent bug out option, as long as you have a pack that you can reliably wear on the bike. And the only thing I will say, Rock, is my deer hide tanning live. It is a speedy version. I tried out a method. It's kind of my own devising. I try to think of faster, more efficient ways to do things. I put the solution on the skin and I let it sit for a little bit. It wasn't all that long either. And then I put them wet onto a smoking fire to get the smoke color and the waterproofing onto the skin side. That is enough. I'm really tired of hearing it. Quit trying to boss me around by being a whiny brat. No. And the only thing about the mountain bike with the trailer is the trailer definitely reduces the mobility of being able to get into the woods and the mountains and stuff like that. And Rockinor, you were during my walking stick carving video. There was a little bit of confusion, and I'm not sure like what you wanted or what you were talking about. Were you interested in getting a walking stick and donating to help us with the Jeep? Or were you interested in the Patreon? What was up with what you were talking with that? Trying to figure out what was going on there. Rocky Mountain Life Prospecting was talking with us and doing the donation and talking about the walking stick and stuff, and I think I might have crossed your wires there when I kept calling him Rock. I kept forgetting that I had Rock and Ore and Rocky Mountain Life Prospecting in my live, and I shortened names. So I was curious as to what you were interested in, what you wanted, or if you weren't and you just thought I was just looking for some clarification. Go with that. Now it says we have 4 people. Thank you everybody who's joining, hanging out, sleeping or not. Tasha, you will have dreams of goats dancing. And you want to see what? The deer processing video, the full deer processing video on my Patreon, or you want to see a walking stick? Which one? Okay, cool. The Patreon for the live access was only $15, and it's per month, but obviously you can pay for it to do that, and I'll do the whole processing video live on that because I can't do full animal breakdowns on YouTube without having them penalize me for it. So that's where I'll be doing it. It's still technically going to be through the YouTube platform, but it'll be an unlisted video, so it won't be on my channel. It's one of those that it'll be on my Patreon, and it'll let you know if you're a patron and you have access to it, and then you can click the link and it'll bring you to YouTube to watch it, that kind of thing. once I start doing those, I will be doing a lot more on my Patreon if people stick around and want to stay. That all helps us out. But yeah, Bacon, with the trailer, it my experience with a bike trailer, it was a really shitty trailer that was made by someone who was a piece of shit himself. So his quality of character went into the quality of trailer, and the thing fell apart on my way down to the water, to go and drop off my canoe and go camping. But I gotta say that the weight was not, even on flat ground, it felt like I was pedaling uphill, and pedaling uphill was not gonna happen. And that was even with a power assist on my motor, because I had the motorized bike. My e-bike can get up to 25 miles an hour, but I was crawling. It was so slow. It was just draining the battery, stressing out the motor, and pedaling was just not happening with that. It was literally like going uphill in sand. It just did not want to do it. This is the thing. They do allow it, but the problem is, once you post a video like that and it's public on your channel, it's your niche, whatever, that you're in on YouTube. You get a certain type of pay rate based on the type of videos that you put out. Now, it's like, I forget the abbreviation for it. It's like CPM or something like that. But you'll get X amount of dollars. Good morning, afternoon, and evening. Rob on the road. Thanks for joining. But they have a specific type of pay rate for the categories of channels and videos. Now, if you curse too much, it knocks that down some. Now, I already do curse too much because that's who I am. I have a tendency of cursing. It is what it is. I accept that. So as it is, I'm avoiding having that knocked down any farther because of other categories or certain types of content that I'm putting out. So I'm trying to avoid having that dropped anymore because it will hurt me in the long run. So that's why I won't be putting that on my YouTube. I could, but that will end up hurting my channel in the long run. And Bacon, yeah, it's a good quality trailer, I'm sure would help, but I still think about the weight that's going to be on the trailer, the pullback. I mean, it's like towing stuff with a car or a truck or whatever you're towing with. The more weight you have, the more stress it's putting on the motor. And if it's not a motorized vehicle and it's a bicycle that you are pedaling, that's more stress that you are putting on yourself. And it had a similar feel to like a stationary bike, cranking up that dial and having that resistor wheel put more resistance on you. I could feel it. It was just pulling. Really covered the gambit on these the chat tonight. And that really, that troll raid really threw me off, though. That was just ridiculous. And the goddamn bacon imposter. They definitely need to have something that prevents people from using your name. Especially if you're a channel that is attempting to be monetized or doing stuff like that. And Rob, no, I only use StreamYard directly from YouTube if StreamYard is giving me an issue. And I also have a Patreon where I'm doing my live deer processing video in the next couple of days. It's finally gotten warm enough that things are thawing. The deer were frozen solid. I needed them to thaw a little bit so I could actually cut into them. But it's looking like I'm going to have to do it inside. If I end up having, after I get to the point where I have a good following and I'm monetized on YouTube and I'm making good progress with my growth, I might delve into the other platforms for my other content. But for now, Patreon and YouTube is enough for me. I barely post anything on my Instagram. I barely get on Facebook to post my videos or my topics or anything. So it's but you could feel that push, Bacon. I bet when you hopped on and took over, you could feel that push. That's funny. But I'll be delving into other platforms once I have a good build up on here that I can be able to put a little more energy into other things. Ooh, we broke the 3-hour mark. So if to a community. Coffee went cold. Yeah. But I think I am going to call it here, guys. I definitely appreciate you guys hanging out. I mean, may have only had a few people at a time, but I definitely appreciate it. It's the quality of the support, not the number of support. Because it's when we can get the good quality conversations, the good back and forth that, you know, I'd rather have a couple people in chat than, 6 people on panel, because then that just gets to be chaos, people talking over each other, and there's always somebody sitting there just not saying nothing or doing nothing because they don't have the opportunity, so they're just like, whatever, I'm here. Right. And I don't want that. I want that good interaction. So I don't think I'll ever have more than a couple of people on my live panel at any point in time. There are e-bikes that are made for towing. They have the higher power motor that still has the speed limiter, so it will be able to pull more at a decent speed to reduce that weight. So I mean, it definitely would be an option. I want to get a Rambo bike. It's the Rambo brand e-bikes. They're really great for hunting and mountain biking and stuff like that. Because even the bike I have, inclines past a certain point are just terrible on it. So it's not a great option for the mountains and stuff. But I am going to call it. I'm going to end this about here. And I definitely do appreciate you guys hanging out. Rock and Or, you're awesome. The Crumb Snatcher, goddamn bacon. I'll have to try to make sure I catch that. A lot of people go live on Fridays, so I actually don't get everybody's notification because there's just a ton of notifications that come through and a ton of people that are live. I have to search people out and stuff. Thank you, Rock. You have a good night too. Not sure if the wife was asleep already, but I'll let her know. You have a good night, good day, whatever it is for you. I'm trying to remember the time zone difference. It's 3:45 in the morning for us. So there you go. Yeah. Good night, the goddamn bacon, Rock and R, and everybody else. Good night, Tasha. I know you're still there sleeping. You're gonna dream of dancing goats. 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 I gotta mess with her. But yeah. Thank you, everybody. Thanks so much for the support. And yeah, until next time, get out there, be a native, and go beast.